I called this the year of the lunatic last week, I think, and it's getting crazier. Trump and Zelenskyy having a fight, mummy and daddy fighting in public, unfortunately. Having a stoush, Vance, the guys from the press picking Zelenskyy about not wearing a suit, slanging match. He walked out, didn't sign the little agreement they had. Um, yeah, they ate his dinner. He walked out before he had his lunch, Zelenskyy, and the Trump people ate his dinner. Um, just crazy, and everyone's going crazy about that, obviously. It's gone absolutely nuts. Don't know how that's going to work out. Trump's still giving billions to Israel, though, bypassing everyone $4 billion, I think. He's given $16 billion so far. He's ramming out, I think he pulled out the chair for Netanyahu. And Zelenskyy wore a suit to see Netanyahu. People pulling out pictures of that. Trump was upset by that. He thought that was a little bit insulting, supposedly, according to some reports. It's going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of blowback from that. If they fail to support them, if they get overrun, if the Americans sort of pull back, maybe, I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? It's going to be very ugly, and there's going to be a lot of neo-Nazis. They're running through Berlin. You can do that if you're pro-Ukraine. And the Europeans have lost their marbles. Callas, I think that woman, Estonian woman, EU foreign minister, she's crazy. She went over to Washington and Vance wouldn't see her because she abused the other guy. The Fox News guy they put in as Secretary of Defense or whatever he is. Hegseth, pervert, drunk. Yeah. Crazy, the Europeans, and they're the ones that they're gonna suffer. 12 million pounds, the Poms have given them over the last 3 years. 25 million Australian dollars. Just for a slaughterhouse. You've seen those videos where they just drag them off the street, the vans. So-called press gangs, I might have mentioned that before. If I haven't, yeah, they just see someone, they find someone, track them down, pull them into the van and send them to the front line. Barely sort of trained and just cannon fodder, literally. Really just grotesque. One of the most grotesque things I've seen. Syria, the Israelis are bombing Syria. Probably going to invade. And the jihadis, their friends, won't do anything. They won't fight back. They've never attacked Israel. Never once. All those jihadists, the Sunnis. So, I mean, who are they proxies for? NATO, the Zionists. All very terrible. It's just evil. Netanyahu, a demon. I might do a Substack maybe about the October 7th thing. I haven't really made a public statement about it. All very ugly, evil. Big drama with BBC, a documentary had the son of a Hamas official, 13, narrated it. And the Jabotinskyists are going crazy over that. Maybe if it's a big deal if their money ended up with Hamas, but I mean Hamas control the government; they control everything. So, that'd be a big deal because they're an official, proscribed terrorist organisation, officially listed. If BBC money went to them, I don't know, fairly indirect probably. I mean, apart from that, it's just a bad documentary, maybe. I haven't seen it, probably won't watch it, but it's just That's how it is, isn't it? What are they going to do? They're just bombing them. I mean, why would they like Jews? The Yahud. I mean, that's all they've ever had is the Jews bombing them. And they're shooting at them. Why would they like Jews? Perfectly rational. I mean, it's just really rational. They get scolded sort of by Westerners, these pompous sort of Antifa and liberal types, or Palestinians are anti-Semitic. Why wouldn't they be? I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, it's just completely obvious. They're going crazy over BBC. Lee Kern and that David Collier guy has been studying it. They're going crazy. But, yeah, BBC did the dirty on Corbyn. That was all for Israel before. In 2019, that documentary, real tin pot dictatorship stuff, really banana republic stuff. It told a lie in the first 30 seconds. I might have mentioned that before. John Ware, who was worked with Jimmy Savile for 30 years, had the story of the century and never saw it, never found out about it. Best investigative journalistic team in the world, supposedly, for decades. And they had the world's worst pedophile working in the same building and never found anything for 30 years. So, yeah, I don't want to be any libel sort of situation. But, yeah, you can work that out for yourself. Starmer. Keir Starmer, yeah. Bad guy, that guy. But, yeah, the Anglo-Zionists and the Jabatistians over there, ugly old Gillian Lazarus, and her bumpkin crew, they're going for the BBC now. They've turned like a rabid dog on the BBC. So it's just a complete insanity. Over there, they've got Tom from Oxford, Dr. Tom. What's his last name? He's doing in Crawford, I think his last name is. Big red-headed guy. He's doing countdown for 3 weeks. While the other one, the blonde one, was elsewhere. She's walking around in the rain. Last week, sticking her tongue out. Posted that on Twitter. I showed that to Peter, the Preston North End fan. He's a big fan of hers, mutual now, on the tweet box, and he liked that. A few posts on the Reddit too. Yeah, he missed one the other day, Tom. So, yeah, they should probably get these ones. I've been doing fairly well playing against the top players. A few old videos from 2016. Yeah, against a really top champion of champions. Getting a few that they missed and getting a few that the champion missed on letters and numbers. Ephebic was a 7-letter word that the champion missed, the Scrabble champion that won I think it was the first series of letters and numbers here. English guy, Andrew Fisher, World Scrabble champion. And I've beaten a couple of, in just a few word games, individual word games. Beaten them outright. 8-letter. Tripoli, I had Tripoli on letters and numbers too. That was a 7. So yeah, I've been getting some decent scores actually. Little individual sort of brilliancies. Yeah. So he's this big Tom guy, this big red-headed guy, Doctor of Mathematics, Oxford, one of Riley's mates. He's doing countdown for 3 weeks. He missed one the other day. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a big lunatic asylum. Things are getting crazy. I don't know what they're going to do with Ukraine. It's going to be more crazy stuff with the Israelis. And there's just all sorts of things that are going off. Albo came out with Zelenskyy, supported Zelenskyy. Tweeted support for him. Don't know how the election will go. Dutton really doesn't have any idea, and Albo's probably got a war chest, throwing about $8.5 billion in Medicare scheme. So he'll probably squeak back in. I think it'll be a hung parliament. Plenty of independents again. The Teals and other independents and the Greens, so probably scrape back in with their help. Labor haven't done much, so just wasted 3 years, wasted 9 months on the Voice. Total nonsense, total garbage that one. But Dutton, he's you know what he's like if you know what. Pay any slightest attention. Dutton, don't want Dutton. Don't want Liberals back in. Probably the same as 2010, I think it was. Hung Parliament and Labour's getting a few independents to get back in. Be a repeat of that, probably. That's my prediction anyway. So who knows? That's, Year of the Lunatic continues. Another 9 months of the Year of the Lunatic to go.